Imagine this. You're just a dude trying to get into med school, but suddenly, you're stuck living with 3 hyperactive sisters, and guess what? You have to marry one of them. Our story kicks off with a guy named Oryo Kamihate, a guy who's tired of being broke and invisible. He decides to change his life and goes for med school. He applies and gets in, which is huge. But then, rent shows up like a big problem he can't handle. So, what does he do? He packs up and moves into a shrine. Yes, an actual shrine, with the plan to work there and live rent-free while studying. His entire existence gets flipped harder than a pancake in an anime OP when he finds out he's not just living in the shrine. He's now rooming with 3 girls, and apparently, he has to marry one of them and take over the whole shrine operation. And these girls? Yeah, they're like energy drinks in human form. Hyper, chaotic, and definitely not the quiet roommates he hoped for. Now let's get back to Oryo, who just arrived at the shrine that's going to be his home school hormonal battlefield for the next few years. As he walks in carrying his med school books, the locals watching him probably thought he was heading to the shrine to pray for good grades. But nah, Oryo ain't that type. He's like, I don't believe in fate or gods. I believe in caffeine, textbooks, and raw determination. He steps into the little house next to the shrine, expecting to find a monk sipping tea and spouting wisdom. But the place is dead empty. So naturally, Oryo starts poking around like he's in a horror movie and hasn't seen the first 10 minutes of one. While he's snooping around, he hears voices, girl voices, and not just voices, but changing clothes kind of voices. He tiptoes toward the door, curiosity doing backflips in his head. Just as he's about to open it, they open it instead. Boom. 3 girls walk out mid-change and Oryo, he gets hit with the anime Holy Trinity, shock, nosebleed, and gravity. He hits the ground like a sack of potatoes, without anyone even touching him. The girls are just as stunned. Why is this random guy here? And Oryo's brain? It fully blue-screened. He decides the best course of action is to pretend he saw absolutely nothing. The girls, clearly trained in overreactions, slam the door on him without a second thought. Then they come back, dressed this time, and roast him on sight. One even calls him a heretic, then throws salt on him like he's haunted, which is honestly hilarious because he wasn't possessed, but now he probably is. After some good old anime misunderstanding chaos, they finally sit down to talk. Oryo explains that he's going to be living at the shrine starting today. He introduces himself all formal and cheerful like, "Hi, I'm Oryo Kamihate, nice to meet you." But the girls, nah. They're still looking at him like he's some sort of rare, endangered pervert species. He apologizes, but it doesn't do much, especially not for redhead girl, aka Yuna, who is clearly running on caffeine and mistrust. The other 2 seem more relaxed, or at least mildly amused. Oryo asks about the monk who's supposed to be in charge. They casually tell him he'll be back tomorrow. Cool. Then black-haired girl says she's in her 2nd year too, which technically makes her the big sister type. She offers to help him if he ever needs anything. Then tiny but sassy girl pipes up and says she's the youngest, so he better treat her like a little sister. You know, because we're family now. Oryo, already overwhelmed, mutters that he feels like a burden, but the girls, well, 2 of them, go, "No worries, you're part of the family now." But Yuna, she's like, "Absolutely not. This shrine is a no-dude zone, and I voted no in the roommate referendum." And Oryo's just relieved. Perfect. I'm not here to play happy family. I just want to study in peace. Yuna tells him if he wants food, he better behave like a saint in a romcom. They take him to his room, and to his surprise, it's huge and all his. Iyayi, the chill girl, tells him she cleaned it up, but when she opens the closet, surprise, it's packed like a Tetris game gone wrong. Apparently she cleaned by shoving everything into the closet. She tries to pull out the futon, but the closet is like, haha, nope, and starts collapsing on her. Oryo jumps in to help, but not fast enough. She falls, and he falls right on top of her. Cue the scream, and you already know what happens next. Yuna, the chaos police, storms in, sees them tangled on the floor, and instantly assumes Oryo's running a side hustle as a predator. Even when they try to explain, it's hard to make that scene look wholesome. Oryo eventually manages to sit down and study. Finally, peace. But no, peace is illegal in anime. Asahi, the tiny chaos gremlin, barges in and starts teasing him. "Wow, you're so serious. Already studying? Aren't you curious to know more about your lovely new roommates?" Oryo gives her the cold shoulder. "I'm studying. Please leave." She gets offended and fires back. "What? You don't want a cute girl like me getting close?" Then she casually starts digging through his stuff. "Since you're a guy, I'm sure you've got some questionable magazines hidden in here." She starts tossing his clothes everywhere like it's a garage sale. Oryo's had enough. He gets up to kick her out but slips on the clothes she threw. Boom. Double fall. Both of them hit the floor again. Guess who was standing at the door the whole time? waiting for disaster. Yuna, again. She bursts in, sees the situation, and goes full nuclear for the third time. Eventually, Oreo goes back to studying, again, but it's late now. He decides to go wash his face and call it a night. But as he walks down the hallway, he sees light coming from one of the rooms. Someone's still awake. So our boy Oreo walks into the room, and surprise, Yuna's fast asleep. Light's still on like she's trying to summon the electricity bill demon. Being the good-hearted cinnamon roll that he is, he thinks, she's gonna catch a cold like this. So he tries to gently cover her with a blanket, but as fate would have it, she wakes up mid-snuggle. And of course, like any totally reasonable anime heroine, her first thought isn't, wow, what a sweet guy, but oh no, he's attacking me. She goes full WWE mode and starts kicking him like a taekwondo boss battle, causing enough noise to summon the other two girls. Ayayi and Ahi rush in and see them in a questionable position. Instead of freaking out though, they awkwardly apologize for interrupting something. Yeah, very normal thing to say when you walk in on a guy getting drop-kicked by your sister. Oreo jumps up, flustered, trying to explain the situation like, no, it's not what it looks like. I swear I was just trying to be wholesome. Eventually, they all sit down to talk it out. Oreo asks Yuna, what were you even doing awake at this hour? She tells him she was making omamori, those little good luck charms, and that she hands them out to the shrine visitors. He's like, wait, you do this for free? All three girls nod and go, yeah, that's kind of our whole thing. We connect people with the gods. That's what shrine maidens do. And then Oreo notices the red strings tied around their wrists. He asks, what's with the matching bracelets? Turns out, those strings were left by their late mother. She's gone now, but those threads are like spiritual keepsakes, literal red strings of fate, but make it emo. Then the girls turn the tables and ask him what he's doing up so late. He's like, studying, like hardcore grind mode. They're all shocked. Whoa, you actually study? Oreo nods. Yeah, I'm trying to get into Kyoto Medical School. Yuna, who up until this point thought he was a creep living rent-free, goes, wait, you're not just some shady weirdo. You actually have a goal? He replies, please stop calling me a shady weirdo. She smirks and says, you know, this might be the perfect place for you. Some of the gods here are said to bless those who seek success. She explains that this time of year is special, the season of the falling star miracle. Oreo's like, that sounds like the name of a kid's book. But Yuna goes full mythologist. She says that according to ancient legend, when stars fall from the sky in spring, if someone makes a wish during that moment, it will definitely come true. Oreo's inner scientist just can't. He's like, you realize that's just meteor showers, right? It's space rocks burning in the atmosphere. And if one actually hit the ground near you, you'd die. Instantly, Yuna declares, you are 100% a heretic. May the gods curse you with a permanent nosebleed. Ayayi and Ahi have to hold her back from going full curse mode. The next day, Oreo is stunned by the sheer number of visitors flocking to the shrine. He mutters, so the girls don't actually do anything? But nah, they're busy connecting people to the divine, one omamori at a time. Yuna hands out charms while Oreo helps her and tells her, if you want to do your job properly, maybe brush up on your English. Before she can thank him, a sudden gust of wind hits, and a bird swoops down and steals Yuna's red string. Cue panic mode.